You judge people? Why? What do you judge them about? I'm going to talk about that real quick, and I think that you should try listening. Just for a minute. Hear me out. My friend is sleeping in the car for a minute. We've been on a road trip. I'm in California. And I just went to a really wild place with a lot of really wild people. And I loved meeting all of them. My friend kind of had a few holdups, and it made me consider the fact that I've been through so many things. I've been through so many different things. For instance, I got 2 DUIs last year, and it's given me compassion and understanding for people that lose their driver's license and drink and drive. Don't do that. I learned my lesson. One of them I definitely deserved. The other one, I'm a small person, so 2 drinks, I still blew over the limit. That sucked. But I'm the passenger in the car. He's taking a nap because we're on a really long drive. But this place we were at, we were with some very wild people. It was very wild. Very wild. I won't go into detail on it. But he was having a hard time with like the energy of the people we were around. But I had a totally different time. Totally different experience. I had a great time. It's fantastic. But it made me think about skydiving. When I went skydiving once, I was having so much fun. Like it was an adrenaline rush. Jumping out of an airplane, it's kind of intense. You're fully trusting the parachute. And if you're strapped to the skydiver, like the professional skydiver, when you first do it, like your first time, you have to be strapped to somebody, right? Because you haven't gotten certified. There's a procedure to it. But I had so much fun. Other people on the plane, they were not having fun. But they didn't have a choice. They had to jump, and they were freaking out the whole time. Some people, unfortunately for the instructor, like threw up while they're mid-air free falling. But when we got to the ground, like we recalibrated the group, like, oh my gosh, that was so fun. Some people were crying though, and I was like, wait, why are they crying? They have throw up all over them. What? So how is it that one person can have so much fun, like not just me, a lot of the group had fun in skydiving, but then some of the group, they were so freaking scared. Even once they got to the ground, they were still in shock from the free fall. Some of us embrace the experiences of life, and like you just gotta go with the flow, and you trust the experience, and you gotta understand like this too shall pass. But when it comes to personal interactions, this is like an epiphany, a very important epiphany I had today. And I explained it to my friend. My friend's awesome. And he wasn't in judgment of other people, but he was like kind of questioning his own internal landscape. And it made me think about Christ, like Yeshua, Jesus Christ. And when I went to Israel as a teenager, I'm really grateful my parents took me there. It was such a cool trip. And I've learned so much about it. Like I thought maybe it would have been cool if I went as an adult, but no, I was supposed to go as a teenager and explore that place. Because where did Christ go and teach? Like, yeah, sometimes he went to the chapels, like the synagogue, whatever, the cathedral, the churchyards, whatever you want to call it. I don't know the proper terminology, but sometimes he went and talked to the priests. And when he did, he was usually chastising them. But he was usually teaching people in the hillsides, the mountains, by the sea, by the ocean, by the rivers, in nature. Or he would go to brothels. He'd go to technically like what we would call modern day like bars or saloons. We don't call them saloons now, but he would go to places where people actually needed to hear some of the things that he had to say. And it's up to them whether they choose to listen to him or not. But he shared his truth, and he loved everyone unconditionally, and he met them as they are. And I love Christ. I believe in Christ. I believe in heaven. I know it's real. I've experienced so many wild things, and yes, some of the things I've experienced were drug-induced, but I knew I got glimpses of a reality that no one can see. And I sometimes do get glimpses of it, and it's really fascinating. And I'm talking about like sober glimpses. And so I was talking to my friend, I was like, dude, wait, why did you have such a negative experience? And he's like, well, it wasn't negative the whole time, but like there's just like this heaviness. And so I explained something to him that I do whenever I'm in a scenario where there's people that are kind of wild, like questionable characters, right? Well, guess what? I pray. I also shield. So like you can shield your energy. It's like Reiki. Your hands have energy. Your body has energy. You can't see. You can shield your head like that. You just run it over your head. Imagine putting on a helmet of protection. And you imagine your energy field strengthening and clearing out the negative, because you get energy in and out, in and out. And you like shield up, armor up. But then I also pray too. I like have a prayer in my heart. My mom always told me when I go to school, she's like, hey, have a prayer in your heart when she drops me off at elementary school. I'm not in elementary school anymore. But when she would drop me off at elementary school, she would always say before I got out of the car, love you, sweetheart, have a prayer in your heart. Something along those lines. She always said, have a prayer in your heart, but she may not have always said, love you, sweetheart. Like, love you, Michael. My name's Michael. That's my name. But have a prayer in your heart. How powerful is that simple phrase? Like, have a prayer in your heart. What does that mean? Well, the kingdom of God is within you, right? We're taught that. It's in the Bible. Christ says that. There's a lot of teachings that talk about it. Like the Father within, when Christ is praying to the Father, heaven is amidst us, like around us, and it's within us. It's both. It's all. And so when Christ is praying to the Father in heaven, he's praying to the Father around him and the Father within. And he's also praying to the Mother around him and the Mother within, because it's both. It's duality. It's balance. It's unity. It's the sacred divine marriage. And so I was telling my friend, I was like, everyone I meet, Christ said to be like a child. And what do kids do when they're at recess? They go make friends. I watch my children play at recess, or not recess, at the playground. Like I'll take them to the playground. And I'm usually on the playground with them because I'm just a big kid. But I've watched them from time to time. Like maybe I'm exhausted and I'll sit on the bench and I'll just watch them. And I'll look at the other parents. Most of them are like on their phone. Sometimes they're watching them. Sometimes parents are on the playground. But I watch the children and how they operate. Kids are laughing. They're having so much fun. They're inventing games. They're super creative. They're expansive. Sometimes there's some introverted kids, and that's okay. We're all different. Some are extroverted, some are introverted. But the extroverted kids usually pull the introverted kids out of their funk and get them to play a game. Whether it's tag or hide and go seek, or just like, hey, let's do a new maneuver on the monkey bars, or let's go up the slide backwards. Slides are meant to slide down. Nope. You can also walk up them. You can even climb over the top. You can do all these different things. You can swing where people don't swing. Kids are super creative. They're playful, energetic, and they make friends with everyone. And so, like, this is kind of a rant, I know, but I have to convey this because it's freaking important. My friend had some hangups. Like he had some huge hangups, and it was like a huge block for him. And I didn't know until like later in the night. Like we were hanging out with a lot of people all freaking night. It was quite the adventure. And yes, some of the people were wild, but they're amazing individuals. Even though, like, yeah, some of them, they have challenges. We all have challenges. We all have lots of challenges. No one's perfect. And guess what? Wherever we are in life, all the time, right this moment, we are all doing the very best we can, even if it looks like we're not. That's reality. We are literally doing the best that we can with the knowledge and skills and abilities that we know how to put to use. If that makes sense? Does that make sense? Hope it makes sense. But the way I operate is I try to make friends with everybody. And it's not based on my ego. I'm not trying to do it like for show. I'm sincerely not. I love making friends because everyone is so fascinating. Everyone has a story to tell if you'll listen to them. And if you'll ask them the right questions, like you ask better questions, you get better answers. Learn how to communicate effectively, proficiently. But also, learn how to take a pause, take a deep breath. And if you need to, this is something I do when I need to listen to somebody and I catch myself, I'm maybe talking too much, because I do talk a lot sometimes. I pull this out. This is a blue obsidian crystal from the Himalayan river, not the Himalayan river, there's many rivers, from Tibet. It's a cool one. I haven't been to Tibet yet, but it's etched in this cool design. It's really worn down, like it's let's see if that'll focus. So it's a star design. It's a Christ consciousness crystal. It's designed in a sacred geometrical pattern, like the flower of life, or kind of like this, Metatron's cube. It's a very powerful geometric pattern, and it's a very powerful crystal. Some people would say this is sapphire. Some people would say this is blue obsidian. You can choose. But when I'm talking to somebody and I know that I've got to shut my mouth because I've shared enough with them, and now it's their turn to talk, if they want to. So then I hold this in my hand and I'll twirl it in my fingers and I'll give my body something to do so that I can anchor in, and I can, like, it's not that I'm distracting myself from them. I'm actually intently focusing my mind on them, and I'm giving my body something to focus on. Body knowledge awareness. And my mind and my heart, like heart-brain coherence, you breathe in a specific rhythm. I know this is kind of a lot of information, but this does work. So I breathe in rhythms of 7. I really like 7. 7's also the number of God. Like, you can work out in repetitions of 7. It works. You can stay super fit. But I breathe in a rhythm of 7. 7 in and 7 out. Just slow. And you don't, it's like a cadence, like a circle. You don't have an abrupt stop at the top, and you don't have an abrupt stop at the bottom. You keep the flow going. And if you can remember to do that, and if you can build the habit of having a breath of 7, or whatever number you want. Maybe you have shallow breath. Maybe you need to do 3 seconds. Or maybe maybe you're a big person. I'm kind of small. And maybe you need a deeper breath, like 21 seconds. I don't know. You figure it out. But when you keep that rhythm in a circle, just constantly flowing, not abruptly, just flowing, and you hold something in your hand, like a crystal or a rock, like you can pick up a pebble. Let's see, cool. That's a cool pebble. You can hold a pebble. Doesn't matter, just like whatever. Or not even a pebble, maybe like a gum wrapper. Something. Or maybe you can tap your fingers, although that kind of looks like a twitch a little bit. But who cares? Like, don't care about what other people think. If somebody says, like, what are you doing with your hand? Oh, this is my focus crystal. I'm focused on you intently. When you breathe in that rhythm and you give your body something to do alongside your breath, you anchor your heart and your brain in alignment. It's called coherence. Heart-brain coherence. So many people in the world are stuck in their brain. Your brain is supposed to be calibrated with your heart, because the true wisdom of your being comes from your heart. Like, your true intelligence comes from your heart. Your heart is powering your whole body, your entire body. Your brain doesn't operate without your heart. But when you get your heart in coherence with your brain, guess what happens? All of your other organs work properly. Your entire body system works properly. And then you expand your field, and you can connect effectively to another person's field. And you can hear what they're saying. This is totally a rant. Holy shiz. This is totally a rant. So when you meet people, if you just anchor in and you're like, I love who you are as you are right now. Seriously. A lot of people think they need to change people. Or like, you're judging them of saying they're doing something wrong. No, they're not. They are living their life, and they're navigating their obstacles in their life. Maybe you've surpassed a lot of your obstacles. It's like you're climbing a mountain. Like, look at that mountain. It doesn't look as big on the phone. It's a pretty big mountain. So imagine, like, say that you're at the top of that peak up there, and maybe I'm in like a valley over here. And I look up and I'm like, oh man, that person's at the peak. Dude, I'm so stoked to get there. I'm in a valley. I've got to navigate this shit. Cool. So I navigate it. Some people would look at the person at the peak and be like, oh my gosh, I have such a far way to climb. Like, that looks exhausting. I don't know if I want to do it. That's a big mountain. And some people will like feel like they can't do it, but they see somebody that's done it. And then if that person on top of the mountain that's up there yells and they're like, it's a super hard climb. Don't climb up here. It's not worth it. Don't do it. Guess what? That person will most likely, oh, what's up, Raven? Crow? Super smart bird right there. Super smart. If somebody at the top of the mountain yells down to the person in the valley and says, hey, you're good, don't do it. This was exhausting. This was so hard. Like, turn around, go back to your car, cruise to your house, go eat a sandwich, eat some avocado, eat some honey, and take a nap. Well, that's just their opinion from the top of the mountain. Like, you haven't been up there yet. You're just listening to them. And if you listen to their negative conveyance of whatever the heck they say, and you believe them, and you turn around and like, don't pursue going to the top of the mountain, you will never experience being at the top of the mountain. And so when you talk to somebody and you're judging them for like where they're at, and you're trying to like teach them stuff and tell them that they're wrong, or that they're just doing wrong things in their life, and that like they need to change their ways. Guess what? Humans are freaking intelligent. They already know the things they need to do to live their life properly. And maybe it's really hard for them, but they don't need somebody judging them. They don't need somebody telling them what they're doing wrong. Because deep down in their heart, they most likely already know, because they're intelligent. Everyone's really intelligent. If you just meet people where they're at and you understand that the person you're talking to is likely more intelligent than you are. They're smarter than you are. They're probably stronger and faster and more gifted than you are. If you anchor into that way of being when you talk to people, then you're striving to learn from them, because you don't know. Say you meet a stranger and you look at their physical appearance and you judge them on it. And you say, oh, you're kind of out of shape. You must be stupid. What? Are you serious? You know how many out of shape people I know that are so freaking smart? Just because they're out of shape, that doesn't mean anything. Some of us have visible challenges, like visibly challenged. Like, other people can see our challenges. Some of us have invisible challenges. No one can see them. Have you ever thought about that? Like, invisible challenges and visible challenges. Like, some people have a hard time losing weight. Let's just talk about the body for a second. Some people have a hard time losing weight. And guess what? That's okay. That's a crazy challenge. That's probably really hard. A lot of challenges that I have, they are fucking mental, heart-centered, like emotional, totally invisible. Nobody freaking sees them. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's visible challenges that I don't see that people see. They're like, dude, you're pretty weird. Yeah, guess what? I know I'm weird. I'm just fascinated with reality, fascinated with life. But the visible challenges, like say someone has a limp. Like, I busted my foot once and I was like limping all over. One time I was limping through a store and like I had this group of people and they were just like staring at me like I could hear their chatter. Like, why is he walking like that? I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not on crutches anymore. I can walk now, but yeah, it's not perfect. But guess what? You have to get over your hang-ups of like, some people really care what other people think. I love everybody and I respect everybody, but you have to get over the fact that like no one's perfect, and you gotta anchor into stop giving a fuck what other people think about. Like, if someone doesn't like you, they're not gonna like you. If someone really likes you, they're gonna tell you. I know this is a super rant. This is kind of funny. But as my friend's napping, like, I've got to let him nap because I can't drive because of my DUIs. That sucked. I can talk more about that later if you want. Because it was a valuable lesson to learn. But the biggest thing is like, dude, these people, sorry, I say dude sometimes. It's an expression. These people we were hanging out with, like, I met so many amazing people. And it was just so cool. Like, they're so interesting, so fascinating. And yeah, I could see things like challenges they're having, but I don't judge people on it because I've been to just about every phase of life that everyone's going through. I have lived a very, very, very rebellious life. Like, I have been very rebellious, especially as a teenager. Before I turned 18, I was like, okay, I'm a minor. I can get away with a lot of stuff. And I had resentment towards my parents for like charging me rent as a teenager. And like, I learned how to build a business, but then I learned other ways of making money that were nefarious. And it wasn't good. And I hung out with friends that were not good influences on me. And I let them not be good influences on me. Like that saying, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. That's just a segment out of it. Because like, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Unless you are a powerful individual and like you believe and love yourself, it doesn't matter who's in your field. If you know yourself and you respect yourself and you're confidently who you are and you don't let people in your field dictate your reality, you can go meet anybody. You can go be friends with anybody. Who did Jesus teach? And he wasn't even teaching. He was just sharing information with them. He was tapped in to a high level. And he saw that everyone is a child of God. That he's a son of God. And he tapped into that deeply. That he's a son of God. And that all men are sons of God. And that all women are daughters of God. And that all children throughout this vast land of earth, all the children are children of God. And everyone deserves love. And everyone deserves respect. And no one needs judgment. Yes, people can be chastised for sure. If they're doing really heinous things, they can be called out. But when people are just really trying to survive, like this life is not easy. It's not easy. And it's not supposed to be easy. But as we live more in alignment with our true divinity, like our true self, I'm not just talking about like our heart and our brain in coherence. I'm talking about our spirit, that essence of yourself that you can't even see, your higher self, however you want to look at it. Like the support system of heaven that's around you. If you believe in heaven, I believe in heaven. I'm not trying to convince you about heaven, but there's this spiritual reality around us that is so far beyond our comprehension that we can't see it with our physical eyes. Like we cannot see it visibly because it is beyond the wavelength of light that our eyes can perceive. It is so complex that we can't perceive it. And because it's so complex, it's supporting us. How do you think your body operates? Like, do you think your body is just like, you know how vast the body is? You know that doctors, they won't really tell you this. Like, you can research it for yourself. They don't even know how the body really operates because it's so complex at a cellular, molecular level, like the microfiber, molecular, minute things in your body. They don't even know because even an electron microscope can't even see deep enough in a living body to analyze it. Like even x-rays, like all the different things, like CAT machine, all of it, all these different tools that we have, our bodies are so vast. They're so vast. And so with that, you have to understand that there's this spiritual system around us, this invisible system that's healing us and like supporting us all the time. My friend just woke up, so I'm gonna roll. That was quite the rant. Love everybody. Be a big kid. It's the best way to roll. Seriously, that was quite the rant. If you enjoyed it, well, let me know. Comment. If you like the video, like it pushes it to more people, that's cool. You can subscribe if you want. But I gotta hit the road. Go exploring, go make friends, always. Don't judge people. It's not cool. But like if you feel inclined to say something to somebody, like say it in a kind way. It's not hard to be kind. Oh, sorry, I'm just climbing a fence. Imagine yourself as the best version of yourself possible. And then be the best version of yourself. Get to it. Go do it. Thanks for listening, for anyone that did listen to this. Over and out. Later.